Welcome to Hollywood Star Celebrity. Today, we're taking a nostalgic journey back to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, where adventure began. Let's see how the legendary cast looks then versus now, 2025. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones. Back in 1989, Harrison Ford brought the world's favorite archaeologist, Indiana Jones, back to life in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. At 47 years old, Ford delivered a perfect mix of wit, toughness, and charm as Indy raced against the Nazis to find the Holy Grail, teaming up with his father, played by Sean Connery. Fast forward to 2025, and at 82 years old, Ford remains a Hollywood legend, forever remembered as the fearless, fedora-wearing adventurer who defined an era of action cinema. John Rhys-Davies, Sallah. In 1989, at 45 years old, John Rhys-Davies returned as Sallah, Indy's loyal and humorous Egyptian friend, always ready to lend a hand, or a shovel, in the search for ancient treasures. His booming voice and warm presence made him a fan favorite, providing both comic relief and unwavering bravery. Now, in 2025, at 80 years old, Rhys-Davies remains a respected actor, forever cherished for bringing Salah's heart and humor to life in one of cinema's greatest adventures. Julian Glover, Walter Donovan. At 54 years old in 1989, Julian Glover played the smooth, yet sinister Walter Donovan, a wealthy businessman whose greed for immortality led to his ultimate downfall. His chilling performance as the man who fatally chose the wrong grail left a lasting impression on audiences. Now, in 2025, at 90 years old, Glover remains a distinguished figure in film and television, his commanding presence and unforgettable villainous roles securing his place in Hollywood history. Isla Blair, Mrs. Donovan. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, Isla Blair portrayed Mrs. Donovan, the refined yet subtly enigmatic wife of Walter Donovan, the wealthy businessman obsessed with finding the Holy Grail. Though her screen time was brief, her presence added an air of sophistication to Donovan's high society dealings. At the time of the film's release, Isla Blair was 44 years old. Now, in 2025, she is 80, marking decades since her role in the beloved adventure classic. Denholm Elliott, Marcus Brody. As the lovable yet somewhat bumbling museum curator Marcus Brody, Denholm Elliott brought warmth and humor to his role, balancing intelligence with an endearing lack of field experience. A trusted ally of Indiana Jones, he was well-versed in history but hilariously out of his depth when thrust into real adventure. In 1989, Elliott was 67 years old, portraying Brody with a charming mix of wisdom and absent-mindedness. Though he sadly passed away in 1992, his legacy lives on, and in 2025, he would have been 103, forever remembered as one of cinema's most delightful scholars. Michael Byrne, Vogel. Michael Byrne delivered a chilling performance as Colonel Vogel, a ruthless and fanatical Nazi officer whose loyalty to the Reich was matched only by his brutal efficiency. As a relentless pursuer of the Grail, he was a formidable antagonist, exuding menace in every scene, especially in his fierce confrontations with Indiana Jones. In 1989, Byrne was 45 years old, bringing a sharp and disciplined intensity to the role. Now, in 2025, he is 81, his portrayal of Vogel still standing as a striking example of a classic cinematic villain. Sean Connery, Professor Henry Jones. A towering intellect wrapped in tweed, Professor Henry Jones was a man of books, discipline, and unshakable belief in history's great mysteries. At 59 years old in 1989, he balanced dry wit with scholarly brilliance, often frustrating his adventurous son with his methodical, academic approach to problem-solving. Though he appeared reserved, his love for his son ran deep, revealed in moments of quiet sincerity. Now, in 2025, he would be 95 years old, a figure of wisdom whose pursuit of knowledge and devotion to the past still echo through time. Richard Young, Fedora. Fedora, the rugged and enigmatic treasure hunter, was more than just a relic seeker. He was a man who saw potential in a young Indiana Jones. At 43 years old in 1989, he carried an air of world weariness, tempered by a quiet respect for those who truly valued history. His brief but pivotal encounter with Indy left an indelible mark, passing on not just a hat, but a legacy. Now, in 2025, he would be 79 years old, a seasoned figure whose years of chasing fortune and glory might have finally given way to reflection on the legends he helped shape. Alex Hyde-White, Young Henry. Young Henry Jones Sr. was a strict yet passionate scholar, a man whose devotion to history and academia shaped both his life and his son's future. In a brief but revealing glimpse into his past, he appeared as a focused, disciplined father, already immersed in his lifelong obsession with the Holy Grail. At 35 years old in 1989, he was a man of intellect rather than action, unknowingly setting the stage for his son's daring pursuits. Now, in 2025, he would be 71 years old, a reminder of the early days of wisdom and ambition that defined a legacy. Paul Maxwell, Panama Hat. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989, Paul Maxwell, then 67 years old, portrayed the wealthy and ruthless businessman known as Panama Hat. As the owner of the Coronado, a valuable artifact recovered by young Indy in 1912, he reappears decades later to reclaim his lost treasure. Dressed in a crisp white suit and exuding an air of authority, he confronts Indiana Jones aboard a ship during a stormy showdown, only to meet his demise when the vessel explodes. If alive today in 2025, Maxwell would be 103 years old. Alison Doody, Elsa. At just 22 years old, Alison Doody brought both charm and deception to the role of Elsa Schneider, a brilliant yet treacherous Austrian art historian. Seductive and cunning, she weaves her way into Indiana Jones' trust while secretly working for the Nazis in their pursuit of the Holy Grail. Though she shows moments of doubt, her greed ultimately seals her fate when she ignores Indy's warnings and plunges to her death. Now, in 2025, Doody is 58, her portrayal of Elsa remaining one of the most memorable femme fatale in adventure cinema. Robert Eddison, Grail Knight. At 81 years old, Robert Eddison brought an ethereal presence to the role of the Grail Knight, the last of three brothers sworn to protect the Holy Grail for centuries. With a weathered face and solemn wisdom, he greets Indiana Jones as a weary but noble guardian, warning of the Grail's true power and the peril of choosing unwisely. His measured words and trembling hands carry the weight of time, making his final nod of respect to Indy all the more poignant. If alive today in 2025, Eddison would be an astounding 116 years old, his portrayal of the Knight still a timeless moment in cinematic history. River Phoenix, young Indy. At just 18, River Phoenix perfectly captured the spirit of a young Indiana Jones, curious, daring, and already getting into trouble. In a thrilling opening sequence, he dashes through a moving train, cracks his whip for the first time, and even earns his signature fedora, all while trying to keep an artifact out of the wrong hands. His boyish charm and rebellious energy made the brief glimpse into Indy's past unforgettable. Had he been alive today in 2025, Phoenix would be 54, his legacy as a rising star frozen in time, much like the adventurous teen he so effortlessly portrayed. Kevork Malikyan, Kazım. At 46, Kevork Malikyan brought quiet intensity to the role of Kazım, the devoted leader of the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword. Initially clashing with Indiana Jones, he soon proves to be an honorable guardian, willing to sacrifice everything to keep the Holy Grail out of dangerous hands. His composed demeanor and steely resolve make him a memorable ally, even in his brief screen time. Now, in 2025, Malikyan is 81, his performance as the fearless protector still standing strong in the hearts of adventure fans. Bradley Gregg, Roscoe. Bradley Gregg, in his early 20s at the time, played Roscoe, one of the Boy Scouts who unwittingly gets swept up in young Indiana Jones' daring escapade. Though a minor role, his presence adds to the youthful camaraderie and sense of adventure in the film's thrilling opening sequence. His wide-eyed reactions contrast sharply with Indy's fearless determination, making the moment feel all the more real. Now, in 2025, Gregg remains a seasoned actor and filmmaker, his brief but memorable role still a fun footnote in a legendary adventure. What a journey through time. The stars of Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade have truly left their mark on Hollywood. White Medium Star, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more celebrity transformations. See you in the next adventure.